Hello and welcome to ICANN Media. We are coming to you from beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. We are just outside of Canada Place where a huge conference is going on called Globe 2014. I'm your host, Rob Hislop, and over the next couple of days we're going to be heading into the conference, taking in some of the many sessions and talking to some of the keynote speakers. Some of the topics discussed: changing energy landscapes and responsible resource management. Now, there are over 250 plus speakers, world leaders in their industry, talking here over the next 3 days. 50 plus countries are represented, and there are over 300 exhibitors at the trade show. We are going to give you a taste of what Globe 2014 has in store. Joining us now on CanI Media, a gentleman who's come here all the way from Dubai. Taher Diab, thank you so much for joining us.
Sure.
Tell us your title and what you do in Dubai.
I look after the Dubai Integrated Energy Strategy. I'm the Director of Strategy and Planning.
And so what were you here talking about?
We actually brought in to the audience what Dubai is doing on green economy and sustainable development. So we've covered issues related to Dubai Integrated Energy Strategy. We brought in the elements required to drive interest of the investors, the financial companies, the technology providers, because we believe clean technology is an issue that is mandated for us. We have a clear vision from the leadership to drive it, and we've started a number of programs to seek that vision. And for that, we think that the public and private partnership would be very essential to drive this further.
We heard you obviously impressed some of the people in the audience today. One gentleman stood up and said that he believes that your country is at the forefront of developing green technology and capturing carbon and trying to make use of it as well and reducing the carbon footprint.
Well, that's a compliment. You know, that would have to be someone else saying that, but I can tell you that we put the framework, we put the platform, we have a structured strategy that is driven from top down and bottom up. We have key stakeholders involved in implementing and driving the strategy. We also brought in the financial element, what it takes to really deliver that. We have a timeline, and we also brought in the element of savings that will be achieved to offset whatever investment will be made. And then we also bring in the carbon reduction as one of the output, which is really what green economy is all about.
Has it been easy or difficult moving in this direction?
You know, I think one way that we managed to develop at the early stage is involvement of the stakeholder, and I think that it was very important to make sure that it is doable. So from the early stage when the strategy was developed, it was stakeholder engagement. We had spent almost a year and a half developing it, so it wasn't coming from a certain entity or just a one body. It was actually involving all the stakeholders in Dubai. From an implementation or an ease of implementation, we've structured it where we know exactly where we start first, so the prioritization element was built into it. We play a mode of wait and see when it comes to technology, because I can give you solar as an example. It has been very attractive recently compared to 4 or 5 years ago when we started thinking about bringing the strategy. So we're very thoughtful about how we bring it, but we also make sure that we structure it in a way where it becomes doable.
Are you using technology at all from other parts of the world as well?
Yes, I mean, you know, if we talk about, there is a number of clusters for this strategy. If we think about the renewables, for example, solar, we've already deployed 13 megawatt. It's actually commissioned in October. An American company was the winning bid for that particular project, and it's been delivered already. We have another 100 megawatt that is going to come through a tendering process in the next few months, and it's open to the market. We have the Europeans, whether it's Germans or Spanish, we have Canadian companies, we have American, we have also the Chinese as well. We do actually publicize what we want to do, and evidence is what we hear today, and we have received tremendous interest from investors and from technology to be partners with us in these technologies.
I find it interesting you say that you've got the buy-in from the top people, the decision makers, and it's very much a top-down strategy. I was talking to the former head of Enbridge, and here in Canada, and he said that until the public starts being more green, it may be difficult to get industry to take the same approach.
It really depends. I mean, that's a market-to-market type of scenario. I think for Dubai, cost of energy is high. Okay, let's say it is cost reflective of how much it costs you to produce power. So for the consumer to be green and efficient by rationalizing the use of water and electricity is definitely an advantage for them. That's one thing, but then on other sectors we have the education as well. So when you talk to any of the college student now, a lot of them are actually pursuing focused studies on sustainability and energy efficiency. So that tells you something about the community awareness to this matter. Another area that really drives the message is we want to lead by example. So the government has done quite a number of initiatives. For example, we talk about green government buildings to start with, because when you talk about design from a construction point of view or retrofitting of an existing building, it is costly. But we've actually driven that through the lead by example, where the government play that role. We also facilitate a number of mechanisms for the developers to be able to develop the next projects with green building codes in mind. And then there are some incentives as well, which are the savings that will be achieved when the building is up and running.
One of the things that people say about North America, Canada, and the U.S. is how wasteful we are when it comes to energy, when it comes to many, many things that we punch way above our weight when it comes to this area. Do you think it's up to North America to try and commit itself a little bit more to this issue?
Yeah, I really can't speak on behalf of what goes in here, but I mean there are a number of technologies available in the Canadian and the US market. I mean, I'm aware of that. It's a huge market, first of all. Cost of energy is not cheap relatively in the States, maybe lower in Canada. I was listening to a Canadian delegation yesterday, and he was talking about the same point, that we tend to have relatively lower cost of energy here. And you guys have lucked out recently with the shale, maybe not the shale gas. You guys have the old sands. The States now have the shale gas. So it is going to drive more resources. But I think the mindset in the community has been there. The behavior of the community has always been there. Maybe the demography of Dubai is a bit different because you have people who are transit, people who happen to be there for a few years. The citizens of the country are only about 30%, so you could see the different demography and the challenges that we have from seeking commitment, let's say from residents or tenants who don't see the long vision or the big picture in the long run. But this is why we're driving these programs, is because we've customized it to really bring in the Dubai unique demography, which is a bit different because you've got more than 200 nationalities in that city. But we're moving forward. We're also looking at what's happening everywhere else, and we're benchmarking. And I think we've got a good roadmap that should deliver the results.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
A pleasure. Thanks.
You.